one red, pour out the Jameson for ancestors to swig.
You rescue me yet again. You put me first everywhere. You make me feel better than the mother dudes. You rescue me yet again. You put me first everywhere. You make me feel better than the mother dudes.
Thank you for tuning to the Black Fathers Initiative of Cleveland YouTube page. Really appreciate the love. Make sure you smash that like button, click the subscribe button. So, today, you know what we do here, man. Basically, talk about everything black, black relationships, black love, black money, finances, generational wealth. Everything is black here. But this is going to be a video with some white people in it. It happens. They have great information, especially Adam. This is a show that I used to watch, and it was a very, very enlightening show where this guy really, you know, opened the book when it came to racist things, racism in this country, and, you know, the uncomfortability or the uncomfortableness that white people have when it comes to racism. Now, at the end, I'm gonna give you a little story that I had explained to a white friend myself, but yeah, this pretty much breaks down a lot, and I think that with this information, you know, white people as well as black people can use this information, you know, when you guys have these conversations about racism and reparations and stuff like that, and when people be like, oh, why are you owe reparations? I didn't do anything to you. Why should we pay reparations and stuff like that? This is the type of information you have to hit them with so you can let them know, yo, you guys owe, you know, this country owes us reparations. So let's get to it.
See, in the 1930s, as part of the New Deal, FDR created loan programs to help Americans finance their homes. But to decide who got those loans, the government created color-coded maps in which green neighborhoods were good and red neighborhoods were bad. This practice became known as redlining. Because of these policies, if you lived in the green neighborhoods, it was super easy to get a home loan.
Oh, right, I can buy property.
But for folks in the red areas, no loans were available.
I can barely afford rent with this. There's no fair. The red areas are screwed.
Yeah, they were. And do you know why some areas were designated as red?
No, but I can guess.
Those were the neighborhoods where African Americans and other minorities lived, and redlining systematically prevented them from getting home loans.
Well, I know what I'll do. Just take my little guy and put him in the green neighborhood.
Sorry, that's against the rules. Early suburb developers like William Levitt instituted explicitly racist policies.
Levittown homes must not be used or occupied by any person other than members of the Caucasian race.
And the federal government itself encouraged developers to discriminate.
Developers, I want you to exclude non-whites.
The result of these policies is that from 1934 through 1968, a whopping 98% of home loans were given to white families.
Okay, this is not fair. I did not get to pick what color I was when I started.
Yeah, no one does. And this advantage compounded over time. The families in the green or white neighborhoods were able to purchase homes and accrue wealth.
The market went up. I can sell my house and buy a bigger one.
Whereas the people in the red neighborhoods got none of those opportunities.
I can't afford property. I'm behind on my electric bill.
In the green neighborhoods, the influx of new wealth attracted new businesses.
Whoa!
And I want to just say, once again, that while the government is making these things and doing these things and putting these laws in place, the majority of white people don't even know. Like, they're not sending out letters to all the white people like, yeah, you know, we showing y'all love on the loan side, come through and holler at us. No, this is all being done pretty much behind the scenes. So white people don't know that they're being you know, white people don't know that they're being, what's the word I'm looking at? They're showing favorites. White people don't know that, you know, these places that they're getting loans from and homes from are showing favors. Now, I'm not going to say all white people didn't know, because some white people did know and didn't care. But all white people didn't know that these banks were doing these things in the community.
We got an organic grocery.
Which caused property values to go up. Which meant white families could sell their homes and send their kids to college,
They grow up so fast.
passing down their wealth and advantages to future generations. Meanwhile, the red neighborhoods had far less ability to build wealth, and many remained trapped in poverty.
This game is rigged.
Yeah, it was. That's why laws were eventually passed that made most of these discriminatory practices illegal.
Great! Finally, I can move. I don't have enough money.
Exactly. Without wealth, families in the red neighborhoods couldn't afford to move up, keeping these communities separated by race. Today, 70 years after Levittown was created, it's still less than 1% black.
I may be dead, but the effect of my racism lives on.
And if the neighborhoods are segregated, that means the schools are too.
What? No, that can't be true. We ended school segregation back in the 60s.
Sorry, Ron, but I'm afraid that's not true.
Ron, this is Nicole Hannah-Jones. She's a New York Times investigative reporter who covers civil rights issues, including school and housing segregation. Nicole, would you mind telling Ron what most people get wrong about segregation?
People tend to think of segregation as an archaic term for Jim Crow policies that led to the civil rights movement. But the truth is that black children are more segregated in schools now than at any time since the 1970s.
And in the U.S., schools are largely funded by property taxes. Since property values in the white neighborhoods are so much higher, their schools get way more money to spend on things like facilities, teachers, and supplies.
On the other hand, predominantly Black and Latino schools are massively underfunded. They're less likely to have AP, science, and math courses, and they're the least likely to have experienced and qualified teachers.
The truth is, Lil Donovan doesn't just go to the best school, he goes to a segregated school.
No.
This is a direct result of decades of redlining policies enacted by our own government to build the suburbs. Highways that were built to make access to the suburbs easier for white Americans were often run right through Black middle-class neighborhoods, destroying them.
And they still do that till this day.
Were the worst.
It's not just the past. Banks still regularly charge Black homebuyers higher rates on loans than they do white homebuyers, even when they have the same credit. Worst of all, Black and Latino home seekers still experience 4 million incidents of illegal housing discrimination every year.
But, I didn't do any of that stuff. I'm not racist. And I worked hard to get this house.
Of course. But without realizing it, you've also gotten a leg up from America's history of racist housing policies. The suburb you live in was built on a foundation of segregation. And we can't close our eyes to that.
So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. So what I was going to say was I had a white friend. I got a white friend, and not had. And, you know, we discuss race and racism from time to time. And we had a discussion similar to this. But it wasn't about specifically redlining, but what I explained to him and what we talked about was how, like he said, how the white guy said in there, you know, I'm not racist. I didn't do anything racist. But you benefit from racism. So, no, you didn't do anything racist, but the system that was put in place, you know, unfortunately, you benefited from with the racism. And the example that I gave him was pretty much the example that a lot of us, that anybody gives. A lot of people, I've heard a lot of people give this example, but the fact of the matter is we can have the same credit score, the same amount of money in the bank and everything, and go to the bank to try to get a loan, and you'll get approved, and I won't get approved. And the reason I don't get approved is not because I didn't have the credentials, it's because I'm black, unfortunately. And once again, that's how you were able to, okay, I'm gonna go over here, I got my loan, I'm about to get me a house and do all these big things and build this generational wealth, where the black people in the community weren't getting those opportunities at all because of the government and because of the housing system. So when I was talking to him about that, that's pretty much what I said. Like, when you go into the bank, if me and you go into the bank with the same credentials, there's a possibility, well, there was more than likely you'll get the loan and I won't. You know what I'm saying? And if that's the case, that's putting your generational wealth, that's putting you in a better position to build generational wealth, and it's putting me in a position to stay in poverty. So redlining definitely was a huge part of that. As well as we can even talk about, and I know you've probably heard about this, there was, matter of fact, let me look it up, see if I can find it right quick. Google. This type of stuff here. Where'd that go? I know you guys have seen these issues and situations. You know what I mean? Where, just things like this continue to put, people in better positions to be, successful and financially and grow generational wealth. But look at this. And it was funny because I asked him, did he see this? And he told me no. And I'm quite sure he didn't because, it probably doesn't come across his timeline like it comes across mine. But yeah, this is the type of stuff that they do to us. And unless we point it out or unless we catch them, it gets done and we keep it moving. You know what I mean? It just so happened this family was smart and was like, you know what? We know our house is worth more than that. You know what I'm saying? And what did they do? They pretty much, what they say, whitewash their home. They take out all the black pictures and everything, and it was reappraised again. Let me see if they can. How was the appraisal? I said it came out really low. Oh, because it was 800,000, 900,000, and I'm like, no, it was in the sixes. Said Clark, and the 3-bedroom home was valued at $670 to be exact. Prices hit record highs. Clark appraisal seemed questionably low. Neighborhood this spring was over 900,000. Just want to make sure we get the fair market value for the home. So yeah, so then they pretty much took out all the black stuff, put white stuff in there. The second appraisal valued the home at $929. So these are the type of things that black people have to go through that I know that a lot of white people don't know about or probably doesn't even come across their timeline. But these are the type of things that we have to deal with when it comes to us trying to build generational wealth. This is a black family doing the right thing, trying to sell their home, just need to get it appraised, and somebody comes down and appraises it for, damn near $300,000 less because they're black. So this is the type of stuff that really, really, really needs to stop, and these are the reasons why reparations is something that is definitely needed. You guys owe us reparations for all this, and it's the racism has not stopped, still going on. So appreciate the love, guys. You know what it is. Black Fathers Initiative of Cleveland, www.blackfathersofcleveland.com. You can go there, check out our website, see some of the things that we do in the community. Really appreciate the love. Make sure you subscribe, hit the thumbs up. Peace.